What if I told you that an Iranian gangster once escaped from the most secure prison in Canada, walked past over 100 surveillance cameras, and vanished without a trace? This man wasn't just any criminal. He was ranked by Forbes magazine in 2010 as one of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, alongside names like Osama bin Laden and El Chapo. His name, Omid Tahvili. Stay with us, because his story is unlike anything you've ever heard. Welcome to Dark Iran, where we uncover the darkest unsolved crimes and the world's most dangerous fugitives. If you're into true crime mysteries, make sure to hit subscribe, because this story will leave you questioning how safe even the most secure places really are. If you Google his name in English, the first thing that pops up is Iranian gangster. Rarely does Google label an Iranian this way, but Omid Tahvili is one of a kind, a true international crime brand. The only images of him on Google are stamped "Wanted by FBI," the US Federal Bureau of Investigation, which has been after him for 17 years alongside Interpol. Yet, no one has ever caught him. Born November 1st, 1970 in Kermanshah, Iran, Omid's international story began at age 29, when he migrated to Vancouver, Canada. Like many immigrants, he started at the bottom, waiting tables, cleaning, dishwashing. But Omid had bigger ambitions. He quickly got into the luxury car rental business, catering specifically to the Iranian community. And within just 2 years, by 2001, he became one of Canada's most successful and wealthy Iranian immigrants. A 30-year-old building a small empire in just 2 years. Impressive, right? But that empire was just a cover for drug trafficking. In 2001, Canadian police caught Omid and his brother-in-law with a large shipment of cocaine. His brother-in-law took the fall, and Omid managed to convince the court he wasn't directly involved. By 2003, Canadian media reported that Omid had formed the largest Iranian criminal gang in southwestern Canada, employing over 30 Iranian immigrants. Known on the streets as Omid Roshan or Nino, he had already drawn the attention of authorities. But that wasn't all. Between 2000 and 2002, he and his brother-in-law ran one of the largest telephone scams in Canadian and US history, targeting elderly and retired victims. They called, claiming the person had won a $1 million lottery, tricked them into paying taxes or processing fees, and then vanished, defrauding victims of over $3 million. The case escalated in 2003, and Canadian police, with FBI assistance, were finally able to trace and arrest them. Omid's legal battles continued. His case was meant to move to the US for trial, but a prominent Indian lawyer, skilled in financial cases, secured his temporary release and delayed the trial for nearly 2 years. By 2005, a bizarre new chapter unfolded in Omid's criminal saga, this time through Canada Post. Omid and his crew were shipping drugs disguised as ordinary parcels, making it nearly impossible for authorities to trace them. On one particular shipment, he sent a $300,000 cocaine package to a client and awaited the payment. When the package arrived at his home, however, the money was gone. Quickly realizing that someone inside the postal system had stolen it, Omid confronted the situation head-on. He tracked down a former Vietnamese drug dealer who had been handling the shipment and discovered that the man had mysteriously vanished. Certain that the thief had fled to Vietnam, Omid decided to take matters into his own hands. He kidnapped the man's brother, held him in an abandoned warehouse, and coerced information. When the brother refused to confess, Omid escalated the intimidation, sending a chilling message back to the original post worker. If the money wasn't returned, the consequences would fall on every member of his family. Eventually, he released the brother. But instead of recovering the cash, both brothers went straight to the police. In the end, by late 2005, Omid was arrested at Toronto Airport, facing a case so massive and intricate that no one could have anticipated its full scope. The charges encompass drug trafficking, phone scams, kidnapping, and assault, spanning both Canada and the United States. He was transferred to the North Fraser Pretrial Center in British Columbia, known as the final stop for the most dangerous criminals. This prison, which had over $40 million invested in state-of-the-art security, was considered one of the most impenetrable in the world. Omid's trial was scheduled for mid-2007, and he was set to be extradited to the United States under FBI protection. But just days before the transfer, shocking news broke. Omid Tahvili had escaped from the world's impenetrable prison. Using a $50,000 bribe to a prison officer named Edwin Tichin, he donned a janitor's uniform, exited his cell, waited for a shift change, and slipped past over 100 security cameras, disappearing from one of the world's most secure prisons. The last images authorities have of him show him in a janitor uniform. The bribed officer was identified, expelled from the police force, and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Since then, Omid Tahvili has remained on the FBI's most wanted list. For nearly 2 decades, neither Canadian nor American authorities have been able to find him. Some believe he returned to Iran, where Western law enforcement can't reach him. Others think he reinvented himself entirely, hiding in plain sight. But the question remains, how does one man outsmart 2 of the world's most powerful police forces and simply disappear? What do you think? Is Omid hiding in Iran, or has he built a new empire somewhere else? Drop your theories in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want more stories like this, hit subscribe and join us for the next case.